So in this episode, we're going to go over Zbrush and basic voxel creation through Zbrush in multiple different methods. From first a overall voxelization, and then voxelization with multiple objects, and then voxelization of skins. Anyways, let's go ahead and get started. As you see, we have our basic desktop here. We really want a bigger screen, so let's do new document, bigger screen. I personally don't like working with the range, so I just flatten that out. Anyway, so we're going to go to our data set. This is going to be a little different from the one that is on the Dropbox, but we're just going to have to deal with that. And we go into the bunnies, and then we're going to look for the original bunnies, which are the 001 and through 004. Alright, so we're just going to grab one of the original bunnies, bring him in, drag him in, edit. Alright, and so we have our bunny here, and first of all, we're just going to do a straight up single voxelization. Alright, and so we go down in here into our remesh settings, right here, and we make sure you turn off these. Matter of fact, what I'll do is I'll just show you what it does. So these different settings here, X, Y, and Z, are basically mirror settings for the voxelization. So as you see here, this works pretty well because it's on an X-axis. But let's bring him back in. I just screwed up there. Let's bring the bunny back in. Okay, there he's back in. But as you see, if we do, let's say Y, we're going to get kind of a messed up version of that. So basically what you're seeing here is a mirroring of the Y-axis for a remeshing, which is kind of interesting, but not really our original intention. And as you also see, the voxels are pretty high res, and we're kind of looking for a more down res version. Anyways, we're going to go back to our original bunny here, turn off that layer of the X, and we're just going to uncheck that Y. Keep it all blank. Let's do the Z just to see Z. You can kind of tell what it does too. Anyways, that's also a possibility. It adds another level of abstraction. I'm not sure if that's what we're going through. Symmetry is usually something Tom doesn't like. Anyways, we're going to take off that. We're going to take this res. Now the res right here is always kind of like 8-bit, 10-bit, 8-bit, 16-bit, 32-bit, 64-bit. So it's always going to be in those increments. So for instance, we can say 64-bit, and now you see that that is half the res of the 128 that it was already sitting at. Alright? And so when we turn that off, and you can start to see, like if we go down to, I was working with 16-bit for a while, and as you see, now we're having a very abstract version of the bunny. Single voxel is kind of what we're looking at right now. Alright, and so now the other possibility of analyzing these bunnies with the voxelization is hiding some of the bunny itself. So basically we're going to go into our select tool. We're going to switch that to lasso, release it and take it back, and then we're just going to select a good portion of that. Okay, you might want to go down here into your display settings and turn on your doubling so you can see what piece of the bunny you are looking at. Anyhow, so now instead of having it all seen, we voxelize that, and as you see here, we only get a voxelization of the surface, and we also have cavities within it. Not very apparent with that one, but if we bump up the resolution to something like 60, let's say 30, 48. All right. And now you see that we're getting a cavernous version of that bunny, which is very helpful when we go into the Boolean later. Anyway, so as you see, this piece is there, and so now what we would do is we would unhide the rest of the bunny, and keep that on is usually what I've been doing so that you can kind of see what piece that you're grabbing. And so we're going to grab another piece of him. We're going to change the voxelization of that to 32, increasing that voxelization. And then make sure when you're doing this voxelization, you have to have everything but the bunny off. As you see, if we keep that piece on, it's voxelizing both pieces. So it's what's on the screen, not necessarily what you have selected. So as you can see, we do not want that, and so we're going to turn both of those off. We're going to voxelize that piece. As you see, cavernous as now too, and then we can go in there and of course delete that one that we didn't want. And then let's return back to our bunny. As you can, oh, that's not our bunny. Let's go ahead and delete some of this stuff out of here, so I'm not using it anymore. All right, so now I can see the whole palette here. Okay, so we need to turn that guy off. We need to be on the top bunny. And now we can turn those bottom two zones, see kind of what we have left existing. And so as you can, okay. So as you can see, we have those two pieces of the bunny, and now we need that top piece. And so now turn off those bottom ones, and now let's remesh that at say 16. All right, and so now you see we have a multi-voxel bunny, and in certain cases it's cavernous, which is very helpful when you're getting kind of these interesting things. Now we're not done at all. What I particularly like to do is I like to merge these together. So I just merge these down into one unit. All right, and so that becomes our voxel bunny. Now it is cavernous. You know, as for example, if we cut it in half, you see that there is concavity inside of there. Anyways, so that's kind of the voxelization of a surface. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go in here and we're going to start to voxelize multi-bunnies. Very similar. So basically, we take that bunny, we would duplicate him, we go into our move tool here, we would start to rotate him over. You know, maybe he's a little more kooky, you know, and then you know, let's see, maybe one more bunny, and this bunny is going to be completely rotated around. Well, looks like his axis is all screwed up. Oh, move him on top of these guys. I don't know. Something like that. I mean, Tom has been saying that we don't want it to be, we want it to be kind of like intentional, I guess, is what he's been saying so much. You don't, like I've done some where it's like the shark is kind of slammed into another shark. I think it needs to be, you know, I don't know. You know, experimentation's really what we need. You don't really quite know if this is the right method yet or not. Oh, it's got to move on. There we go. So in this case, you have your buddies around. You could start to, I mean, this Boolean effect would, you know, I don't know. I don't know exactly if this is going to be right or not. So basically what this method would be is we start to voxelize one bunny, we switch to the next bunny. Oh, see what happened is because they were all selected, we voxelized the whole thing. So again, always remember, take your other bunnies off, voxelize one, voxelize the next one, next one at, let's say 32, and then voxelize, see again, I did it again. So you gotta be sure to take that off and then voxelize, and then turn that off, voxelize the last one, let's make it 64. Alright, and so now we can go down here and start to merge. That's our multi-bunny, single, and now we can start to merge down. So as you see, there's our kind of multi-bunny voxelization. And there's a whole series of these per each ZBrush file that we have for the voxelization. So taking these and creating these kind of unique voxelizations. Now, one other thing I'm going to go over, which usually is kind of, we're just going to stop this video. I'll make another one for this. Anyways, talk to you in the next tutorial. Thanks.